Well, this is an unusual book for two reasons. First of all, it's an unusual book because the prophet Hosea is not speaking to Jerusalem. He's not speaking to the kings that are the descendants of David. He's speaking to the kings who had left David's descendants, and they formed their own kingdom, the northern kingdom. That's called Israel. The southern kingdom was called Judah. So when you think of Judah, think of Jerusalem and Bethlehem. But when you think of Israel, think of the northern part, which is always run by kings who are not believers. Always. The northern kingdom is always bad. The southern kingdom sometimes is good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to share a screen again, as we always do. And we're going to get rid of this. And we're going to go to the timeline. Now, here it says the foolish acts of Solomon's son. Now, Solomon is the son of David, okay, to make sure you know that. Solomon's son Rehoboam split the promised land into two kingdoms. The northern kingdom, which is the kingdom with the capital of Samaria, and the southern kingdom with the capital of Jerusalem, okay? So what we have are two kingdoms, and Samaria is in the north, and Judah is in the south. And the kings of the northern kingdom were idol worshippers from the beginning, okay? And so when I open up this timeline, they never tried to obey God's law. They immediately started worshiping idols because they were afraid that if they allowed their citizens to follow Yahweh and the laws of Moses, that the citizens would want to go back and join back with Jerusalem, with Judah. For all their history, they worshipped idols. Now, it's unusual because Hosea is speaking to those people. That's unusual. And the second thing that's sad is that God told Hosea to marry a woman, and God warned Hosea, this woman is going to be an adulteress. She's going to have sex with other men, and she's going to have children. Some of your children are not going to have you as their father. And it's just a real tragedy. And Hosea knew it was going to happen from the start. So when we go here and we look at the timeline, this tells this story. And so you can read that. And you need to know that because it's going to make a difference when you do your timeline quiz. To know, first of all, he's speaking to the northern kingdom who are always idolaters, always rebellious against God. Period. All right? All of them. And then secondly, it's important for you to know that the people that he's speaking to are people that God wanted to bless, just like Hosea wanted to bless his wife Gomer, but she was always adulteresses. She was always an adulteress. She's always leaving. She's always going off with other men. And finally, she just leaves. And then he goes back after a long time, and he buys her out of slavery. And I think she was a slave as a prostitute, and then brings her back to the home, and there he kind of helps her to learn how to be a godly woman. All right, so that's that. And so that's going to really tie into the story. So let's just look for a second at our passage. So we'll go to here, and we'll click into it. And I'll just do a little preview. So here it says, the people say, let us return to the Lord. He has hurt us, but he will be sure to heal us. He has wounded us, but he will bandage our wounds, won't he? In 2 or 3 days he will revive us, and we will live in his presence. Let us try to know the Lord. He will come to us as surely as the day dawns, as surely as the spring rains fall upon the earth. But the Lord says, Israel and Judah, what am I going to do with you? Your love for me disappears as quickly as a morning mist. Remember Hosea's wife, Gomer, her love for her husband? She always went after other lovers. She had children, and those children came from other fathers. And so when he says, your love for me disappears as quickly as the morning mist, it is like dew that vanishes early in the day. That's what he's talking about. Look at the example of Hosea and his wife Gomer and say, oh, that's what you're like. You say we want to return to the Lord. Oh, let us come back to the Lord. But you're not actually going to do it. You'll feel it for a little while, and then you'll go right back into your adultery again. This is why I've sent my prophets to you with my message of judgment and destruction. What I want from you is plain and clear. I want your constant love, not your animal sacrifices. I'd rather have my people know me than burn offerings to me. All right, so that's the context. Now you understand the context, and boy, it makes a lot more sense this way. I hope this will help you as you do your project, and I hope it'll make a difference in this powerful passage, wonderful description of God's love and our unfaithfulness. I hope it'll be something that speaks to your heart as well. Okay, well, thank you very much. Have a good day. Let's